Here we are on day 35. We're getting places, aren't we? Are you looking at the worksheets? Man, I read those things and I learn something new every time I read them. Did you know that about the word opportunity? The history of the word and where it comes from? I didn't realize that, but I learned something. And I learned that God is giving us opportunities to work for Him. He wants to use us. He wants to use you. He wants to use me. He wants to use our church congregation. Think back about your journey. How is God using you in His life? We don't like to think about it much, but even so, the principle is true. What we do today affects what's going to happen tomorrow. If I stay up late tonight, the chances of me getting up early for my devotions tomorrow is slim. If I stay up late tomorrow night, the chances of me getting up early the next day is slim. If I stay up late again another night, the chances of me getting up early for my devotions is really slim. And if I continue to do that, I will develop a habit of staying up late, not getting up early enough to have my morning devotions. I've been told in the area of health that how we live during our first decade of life affects how we live during our second decade of life. How we live during our fourth decade of life is going to affect how we're going to live during our fifth decade of life. Do we like this cause and effect relationship? It's the same way with our spiritual journey. It's exactly the same way with our giving, and that's the principle for today. Your giving in this life will have an impact on your experience in eternity. Now, I've been going through some coaching exercises, and one of the things that my coach had me do is to have a vision and to dream about heaven and the reality of heaven and what heaven was going to be like. And then after I had that vision to answer some questions about how I enjoyed it, what I was thinking about it. But then following that process, he is taking me through the process of, if I want to have that eternity that I have envisioned, what must I do now in order to have that eternity? And so we lay out step by step the game plan. If that's my goal, what do I do now? Some Bible verses to help us. Matthew chapter 6. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven. Luke 12, the same principle given here. Jesus says, provide purses for yourselves that will not wear out, a treasure in heaven that will not be exhausted, where no thief will come near, no moth destroy. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Think about it. Are you laying up treasures here on this earth that Peter says are going to be destroyed? It's going to melt with fervent heat? Cheryl keeps reminding me, Dale, this thing that we're buying, this one thing that we're purchasing, it's all going to burn in the end. She's trying to get me to focus on what's really important in life. Am I laying up treasure in heaven? You see, the way we give today will affect our experience for eternity. Today, I challenge you to be like Jesus. Today, I challenge you to be like God. Live generously.